Today, we're leaving the rest of the world behind.
Whoa. You've got to go back and start at the very beginning. You know, this is like a vlog. You've got to start with the travel. Honestly. What's up guys, welcome back to the Gaming Careers YouTube channel. It is the day that I start my travels to California for TwitchCon. So it's Wednesday here in the UK. I've got a long flight from London to California tonight, which is, well, today, which is 11 hours I think. But it takes me a couple of hours to actually get to London Airport from where I live as well. So it's going to be a long day of traveling. I'm going to bring you along with me and hopefully show you some of the cool things about TwitchCon. I've never been before, so this will be my first year actually going myself. It was one of my goals at the start of this year, so I'm so happy to be going. Hopefully meeting some of you guys, being able to meet some other streamers, other broadcasters, some of the companies that I work with, as well as just being able to, you know, learn a lot and be at the panels as well as the parties. So I'll bring you along with me. First things first, let's get to the airport in London. Finally arrived, lying in my hotel bed. That was a long flight and I decided not to try and sleep on it just because it makes sense jet lag wise to try and stay awake. It's like 7 PM now local time, which I think means for me it's about 2 AM, you know, time back in London. So I'm pretty tired. It's been a long day, but happy to have gotten here safely, no issues with, you know, getting through visas and things like that. So tomorrow actually isn't the start of TwitchCon, but they have a developer day the day before on the Thursday, so I'm going to go to that, listen to some talks about, you know, developing for Twitch and, you know, extensions and things like that, as well as meeting a couple of people. But I am absolutely zonked, so I will see you tomorrow. It is finally morning, 7 AM. I've been awake for about 4 hours just because of the jet lag, so I've just been trying to do a bit of work whilst I can, but it's now time to go and get breakfast, and after that I'll be heading to the TwitchCon, like where you can pick up your passes and stuff like that, because today I've got the dev day, which is going to be looking at some of the things that developers are working on for Twitch, as well as some talks from developers at Twitch about how we can best use extensions and panels and things like that in our applications. So I'll see you when I go and collect my badge at TwitchCon. First, I'm going to eat an American breakfast. Friday morning now. I didn't film anywhere near as much as I wanted to yesterday. It ended up just being a super busy day, and I didn't even think to be getting my camera out, to be honest. There was like an early opening for Twitch partners where you could go and go and buy things from the Twitch shop, which still ended up being super busy because there's so many partners nowadays. So queued for that for like an hour and then didn't really end up buying too much stuff from the shop, so wasn't really worth it, but it was nice to meet a lot of people in the queue. I had a lot of people come up to me and say that they'd used my videos when they started a year ago or a year and a half ago, so it was amazing to meet some people that had reached partner, that had, you know, found the Gaming Careers YouTube content helpful. So that was really nice. That's like the best part of this job is hearing from people and people coming up to you and saying, you know, how much you helped them out and thanking you. So that was really fun Today, officially TwitchCon starts, so like all the normal panels, all the people are going to be there, not like yesterday when it was just kind of developers and some people picking up their badges. So yeah, it's going to be a busy one. I've got a meeting first before that all starts, and then yeah, I'm going to be attending some other panels and you know, learning some stuff as well as meeting people and networking and things like that. This is what it's all about, TwitchCon, so I'm really excited to get going, and I promise I will film a bit more over these next few days, so let's go. So a lot of new things were announced at TwitchCon this year. New features from Twitch, as well as, you know, some new products coming out from some of the people that were in the expo. I thought I'd just finish off this video by going through some of the new features, giving my initial thoughts on them. Some of these are coming out immediately as soon as TwitchCon is finished now, and some are coming out over the next few months, but I'll try and make sure that I mention that on each feature. So the keynote started with some statistics from the current year. 1 million concurrent viewers at any given time on Twitch, 235,000 new affiliates, 6,800 new partners, which is just astonishing really how many partners and affiliates there are, and that's just from this year. There's also been 18.2 billion chat messages sent, 85 million cheers, and 150 million clips created. You know, the keynote's quite often like starting with these stats that sound so impressive, but that 18.2 billion chat messages really does give you an idea of how big Twitch is as a platform now, and how much the viewer interaction is a big part of that. So Twitch announced 11 new features, some bigger than others in this keynote, and I'm just going to go through them in the same order that they did and give you some thoughts. So the first thing that they announced is a new feature called Squad Stream, and anyone that has used Mixer in the past knows that this is sort of a similar feature to what Mixer already had, and there were some external websites that allowed you to do the same thing, but they were kind of more on the viewers' end rather than the streamers. So what Squad Stream allows you to do is it allows up to 4 streamers to stream within a single view. So the idea behind this is for, you know, I can personally see it as like games like PUBG and Fortnite. When you're in a squad of 4, you can set that up as a streamer in Twitch from your dashboard and link the other 3 streamers that are also streaming in your squad. And then viewers will get the option, both on mobile and on desktop, to be able to switch between the streams. So it's particularly useful, you know, if one of you dies and then you're spectating, they can actually swap over to somebody else's stream with just one click that is in your squad, and continue the entertainment there. So I think this is an awesome feature. It's something that has existed on other platforms, but it's good to see that Twitch isn't, you know, embarrassed about copying a different platform. They obviously didn't mention that Mixer already had something similar, but it's great to see anyway, and I love particularly that it's available on mobile and desktop from launch. The next thing announced was a feature called Highlights Editor. So anyone that is already a streamer on Twitch knows that you can create clips from your stream and, you know, individual highlights, but what wasn't possible was to be able to take separate parts of your stream and put them together into a highlight. It had to be one continuous segment from within your stream. So they're introducing a highlights editor. I think it's going to be available from January, so it's not out quite just yet. but it's going to allow users as well as streamers as well as their editors to be able to go into past broadcasts and select multiple different parts from within that VOD and put them together into one single highlight. So you can sort of have a highlight of your stream with all of the hype moments, all of the chicken dinners, or all of the subs that you got, whatever you want to do or however you want to use it. I actually went to one of the panels about this new feature later on in TwitchCon, and I asked the question as to whether or not you would be able to link different parts of different streams into one highlight. So let's say you streamed for a full week on separate days, and you had different moments from those streams that you wanted to link together into a single highlight. They said it was a planned feature, it wasn't going to come out with the release in January, but they understood that it was a feature that a lot of the community wanted, so they were going to be implementing it in the future. One of the biggest problems on Twitch is getting discovered, and I know a lot of the community feels the same way, and it looks like Twitch are trying to address that with this next feature. It's not really got a fancy name, but they're going to be updating some of the homepage and the discoverability on the homepage with some new updates. So they are firstly adding some new features to the Discover page, things like the anniversary of your first stream. So maybe it was a year ago that you started streaming. They might highlight you as one of the featured streamers there, or people that have just become affiliate or just become partner. They will also have a section on the Discover page. So this, I think, is kicking off straight away with the section for new and upcoming streamers, but a few of the ones that they demoed showed some different ways of being able to highlight people on Twitch. The next feature that they announced is called VIP badges, and this is a way to be able to give members of your community a special and recognized badge within your chat. So they would be able to chat in sub-only mode, or in emote-only mode, or when it's on slow mode or anything like that. You can give certain members of your community the VIP status, and I think this is necessary purely because a lot of streamers had to give these members of their community moderator, even if they didn't really want them as a moderator, but it was the only way of being able to highlight somebody as a valued member of the community. Well, VIP badges is going to be the new way of being able to do that, and you don't have to give moderator privileges to these people. I think this is launching just in a couple of weeks, so excited to see how this is used and whether or not it gets abused, but you get more badges for your channel as your channel grows. So there's certain goals similar to affiliate, and as you meet those goals, you'll be able to get more and more VIP badges. Speaking of moderators, I think this is one of the best new improvements that's being added to Twitch, and that is some improvements to the moderator tools that your mods can use in your chat. So they showed a quick demo of this on stage, but it looks as though moderators can now see how many timeouts a user has had in the chat before. They can see if they've been banned in any other chats, and moderators can also add comments about users just by clicking on their username, and other moderators will be able to see it. So if you have a few different moderators that maybe they work in shifts, or you have such a busy chat that they can't all keep up with each other, moderators will be able to add notes about specific users, and the other moderators will be able to see that to make sure that they're making an informed decision. This one's launching in January. I think this is going to be an awesome new feature, and I fully encourage more empowerment to the moderators within the Twitch channels. Now, with all these new roles, moderators, editors, VIPs, there's so many roles for a streamer to be able to manage now. It looks like Twitch are introducing a new roles page where the streamer can go in and see all of their list of users, and if they are moderators, editors, VIPs, or subscribers, all those kind of things, and they can go and edit those options there. So this is launching quite soon, I think in a couple of weeks is what they've said. It's not a huge feature, but a nice to have, especially if you've got a large community and you need to be managing all your moderators and VIPs and who's going to edit for you and all those kind of things from a single page. So subscription badges now will not display the streaks by default, but instead they will show how long or how many months in total you have subscribed to that channel. So if you miss a month, it doesn't really matter, you don't get that month as a number, but you do, when you resubscribe the next month, continue showing how long you have in total months subscribed to that channel. The user will also get the option to be able to display the streak if they wish to, but by default it will just show the total number of months that you have subscribed to that channel. Now, literally 1 month after I created the video on the Streamlabs face masks, if you haven't yet seen that video, I would check it out, but Streamlabs built a feature where you could tie certain face filters and masks into subscriptions, sorry, not subscriptions, donations, which would encourage users to donate more. It seems that Twitch has partnered with Snapchat to build the Snap Camera extension, which basically is a extension on top of your stream, so it doesn't integrate with your software like OBS or Streamlabs OBS, but it allows you to add certain filters depending on events that happen in game. So certain lenses, as they're calling them, or filters, are tied to certain games, but they're also going to be tied to, you know, when somebody subscribes or somebody gives bits and things like that. They look pretty cool. I think they're probably, since it's Snapchat and they've been doing it for a long time, they're probably a little bit more advanced than the Streamlabs face masks. And there was a little demo on stage of Pokimane going through some of the face filters, what do they call them? Snapchat filter type things, lenses is what they're called. So it looks like a cool feature. I'm going to be definitely testing this one out. This is available now. I'm excited to see how people use this and if it works more as an extension rather than being integrated into the software. Now, Bouncy Board is getting an update as well. They're adding more brands and making it available in more countries. For those of you that don't know what Bouncy Board is, it is a part of the Twitch backend that allows partners and selected affiliates to be able to work with brands, you know, stream certain games and earn money through doing that, because you're effectively advertising a product. It was launched this year and just to a selected number of partners as a truck starts reversing outside the hotel room, but they're making this available in more countries and adding certain affiliates to the program as well as adding more brands. So this will probably become a bigger and bigger portion of partners and how they make money on Twitch, and it's nice to see that Twitch is recognizing that there are some big influences in the Twitch streaming industry now and bringing on more and more brands to be able to work with streamers. The final two things that Twitch announced at their keynote this year was that they were going to be continuing with Twitch Rivals, which for those of you that don't know is their sort of tournament structure where everybody that is entered into the tournament is also streaming, and they switch point of views into the different streamers. They showed some stats that showed that, you know, the streamers that took part in Twitch Rivals saw big increases in both people subscribing and donating to channels, as well as people that are viewing the channels and following as well. So it seemed to be a good initiative. They said they had a lot of success with it, and they're going to be increasing the number of events and the prize money for Twitch Rivals in the coming year. Last but by no means least was a new game that Twitch has launched or is launching, called Twitch Sings, and they didn't really give too much away on stage about what this would be. It looked like some sort of karaoke type thing that really integrated with your viewers, so there was a big emphasis on the fact that it was for the streamer and the viewers to interact well. So I'm not quite sure exactly what the feature was. They were demoing it at TwitchCon, but there was always quite a big line, and I wasn't that fussed about going to see it, especially with such a busy schedule that I had. So they said that they were getting feedback directly from TwitchCon, so I'm not sure exactly when it launches, but they also mentioned that new streamers or people that weren't at TwitchCon could also sign up to test it at the link, which I'll include down in the description below. Overall, a pretty good TwitchCon keynote, I would say, like quite a few new features being added, and it seems that they're really listening to the community and adding things that people wanted. So for me, I think the big ones that I liked seeing was the squad stream that Mixer previously had. Always enjoy seeing improvements to the highlights editor, because the more you can encourage people to create offline content, the better, in my opinion. And probably my third one would be the improvements to the moderator tools. I think that's a cool new feature that was much needed. And a small shout out probably goes to the discovery page updates, making it easier for smaller streamers to get discovered. That's always going to be a problem with a platform as big as Twitch, so I'm glad to see that they're taking steps in the right direction there to help new streamers, affiliates and partners get discovered. And that is it. I am all packed up, ready to go home. I mean, I could make my bed, but that's somebody's job and I wouldn't want to take it away from them. So thanks so much to everybody that came to say hello at TwitchCon. That was the best thing about this whole convention, was the number of people that came and said hello to me and talked about live streaming and that kind of stuff. Thank you so much to my patrons. I can't emphasize, I would not have been able to make this trip without the support from my patrons. So a massive thanks to them, and thanks to everybody in the community for making this such an enjoyable trip. I will see you all next year definitely, but until then, in the next video. Bye.